Intro.
My name is Jai, full name is Paula Jai, and most of you watching this probably already know that.
Why did I start vlogging? I started vlogging because I just wanted to have something to look back on. Recap video. I took a 2-month trip, mainly because my brother got married. I took a 2-month trip to the Philippines, Singapore, and then I shortly went to Indonesia. And I just wanted to share what I learned and how my experience was. I stayed in Bacolod for a month, and over there and in the Philippines in general, they have a really laid-back lifestyle, and I truly learned to just stop trying to do something every moment and to just chill and just like enjoy this relaxing moment that you're given. And in Bacolod, it's not very touristy, so there were often times where I didn't really have much to do except go to rob. But I learned to find adventure in the little things. Like I rode on the back of a Jeep. It was really fun. Went to go eat by myself. Like just finding the place itself was pretty adventurous to me. I took the Jeep there. So Jeeps in the Philippines are like the equivalent of a bus in Canada. It can drop you off anywhere and can pick you up anywhere as long as it is in its route. And you just call it over like you're calling over a taxi. Once you get on the Jeep, you pass your money down by saying bayad, and it eventually gets to the driver. Then when you're ready to get off, you can say lugar lang in Bacolod or para in Manila and other places. But the routes aren't on Google Maps, so you have to ask for directions or would have to be from there. So that's Jeeps in like 30 seconds. Okay, back to the video. Yeah, I learned to find adventure in the little things, and I also learned to appreciate what you have. But not just what you have like materialistically, but the moments that you're given. Like I really learned to appreciate that I was given the opportunity to live this day. There were moments of silence where I would be journaling on the plane or I would be reading my Bible on the beach. And there were moments of loudness where it'd be like go, 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 or we'd be stressed for the wedding. Like whatever moment it was, I knew that it was placed in my life for a reason. So I really learned to just step back, soak in the moment, and absorb everything you have to learn in that certain situation and take every opportunity in that moment to, yeah. Anyway, I can go on and on about that, but really I learned to live in the moment, and that's probably going to get annoying. I met amazing people in Bacolod. I got to know my 3 sisters-in-law, Christina, Lois, and Clarissa, and they are just amazing, inspiring women. Like each one I just cherish and love. Yeah, I think I took away something from every person that I met there. There was this one time where it was the first time I decided to take the Jeep by myself. I sat at this park, the lagoon, and I just asked God. I was like, hey, if there's anyone that you want me to bless, like you can bring them here and I'll bless them. So I was looking around the park, saw this guy, bought him a sandwich, and then these kids came up to me, and usually Christmas time in the Philippines, these kids, they carol to get money, and so these 3 kids came up to me. The oldest one was 14, the youngest one was like 9, I believe, or 8, but I just felt so led to take them and eat somewhere. So I was like, kumain na kayo, which is, have you guys eaten in Tagalog? And then they were like, no. And I was like, saan mo gusto kumain? Itreat ko kayo. So I asked them, and they were like, sa 7-Eleven na lang. And I was like, are you sure hindi mo gusto yung Jollibee or like Chowking or something? And they were like, no, just 7-Eleven. So we went to 7-Eleven and they picked out siopao. And then they got some drinks and stuff, and we were sitting there just talking. And I was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? There were 3 of them. 1 wanted to be a doctor, and 2, they wanted to be policemen. And why do you want to be a policeman? So you could hold a gun? And then he was like, no, so I could help people and stop crime and stuff. And I was like, oh. The one guy said, we talked about God. they said, we know that he's always watching over us. They also talked about how other kids, they save up the money to buy rugby, which is glue that you could get high off of, and they were like, no, we save it for our families, we save money for school. And at the end of the conversation, they had some food, and they said they were full and that they were going to give it to their friends. And it was just so inspiring how the logical thing to do would be to keep it because you're going to be hungry later, but they chose to give it to their friends who were hungry now. And that was just so inspiring because, like, though they have so little, they are still so willing to give. And I also went to Pampanga on my last week of the 2 months, and I just went to spend time with my Tita Tel, who has cancer, but in Jesus' name is completely healed. And my Lola and my Tito's there, and I just loved how my Lola still takes care of her, like as she probably did when she was younger. Like she's still such a mom to her, you know. Like I've watched her tuck Tita Tel into bed. Like it was just really nice to see a mom know her daughter so well. Like she would say to me, oh, she likes this, oh, she likes it like this. It was just really inspiring to see that. I don't know. And to see all of them there just helping out everything they can do for my tita. It was yeah. And they were all full of hope despite that they see my tita's situation every day. They were full of hope and light, and it was just really great. And the last night prayed all together, and my tita Tal is funny. She opened up in prayer and she prayed for every single one of us, and it was so great to see that she, who has the greatest need, is willing to pray for our needs and lift up our needs. And okay, so Singapore was my first solo trip. I was with my family there. I stayed with family, but I flew there alone, and I went around Singapore 90% of the time alone. And I really I learned to be reliant on myself and to not be frustrated when something doesn't go as planned. If I get lost, it's obviously funner when you're with people to get lost, but I got lost by myself and it was not fun because my feet hurt, but I learned to live in that moment. And I keep bringing this live in the moment thing up because seriously, that's the main thing that I learned. And it's a concept that, I don't know, releases happiness into your life. And so yeah, that was my first trip. Singapore trip was actually very spontaneous. I booked the ticket 2 weeks before I flew, and my parents were all supportive, and they helped me pick the right ticket, and it was just. Anyways, I totally recommend Singapore. Though they drive on the wrong side of the road, I totally recommend it for any new traveler. Just kidding. But it's a really developed city slash country. It's really so impressive. I was very impressed. You can find a lot of stuff to do there that's free. I went there on a $200 budget for the whole trip. I spent $220. Yeah, you can find you should definitely go there. So traveling for me is not a getaway. I think it is an opportunity to find yourself, to fall in love with the world and its creator. I think you shouldn't travel to get away. I think you should travel to get a wider perspective and to learn and to grow and to just, better yourself as a person and to find who you really are and to find things about yourself that you would never have figured out if you didn't get out of your comfort zone and leave. Just don't let fear get to you. I don't even know who I'm talking to, but don't let fear get to you, because it is the thief of your enjoyment and your joy and your happiness. And yeah, I thank God so much for this trip, because you could really see his hand. thank God because of how much I grew spiritually and emotionally and physically. Just kidding. I appreciate everything that went down on this trip. It was pretty life-changing. Go live in a third world country for 2 months. Like, your life will change and your life will get simpler and your perspective will get simpler and you will just appreciate things so much more. Not just materialistic things, but moments. And I'm repeating myself, but like, oh, and don't be afraid to travel by yourself because you were born by yourself, you can do it by yourself. Just kidding. That was lame. But don't be afraid because, like, obviously pick a safe place to go to, but like, you will find so much stuff about yourself, and I'm repeating myself again. Okay, anyways, thank you for watching. Also, shout out to Edvin because he helped me upload my videos when I had really sucky Wi-Fi in the building. Okay.